Hello. In this story, we will enter into the mysterious depths of the human psyche, where lies a world where the dividing line lies between the natural and the supernatural, and where malevolent forces wait patiently, ready to strike when no one expects. Tonight, we travel to this world, where innocence and strangers collide, and where a porcelain doll becomes a harbinger of nightmare. If you're really ready, fasten your seatbelts and let's get started. The antique shop stood at the edge of a quiet cobblestone street, its windows filled with an array of mysterious relics from ages past. Dusty books, tarnished silverware, and faded paintings lined the shelves, each holding a piece of history within its weathered frame. But among the forgotten treasures, there was one item that held a dark secret, a porcelain doll. The doll sat on a dusty, neglected shelf in the corner of the shop. It was a magnificent creation, with delicate, lifelike features and shimmering midnight black hair cascading down its back. Its eyes were an eerie shade of crimson, a vivid contrast to its pale porcelain skin. Its crimson lips curled into a sinister, enigmatic smile that seemed to beckon, inviting anyone who dared to approach. One fateful afternoon, the Brooks family entered the antique shop. Sarah, the mother, was an art enthusiast, always on the hunt for unique pieces to decorate their home. Richard, the father, was a skeptic when it came to antiques, but he indulged his wife's passion nonetheless. Their daughter, Emily, a curious teenager with a penchant for the unusual, trailed behind them, her eyes fixated on the cursed doll. As Sarah admired a tarnished mirror and Richard inspected an old pocket watch, Emily couldn't resist the allure of the porcelain doll. She picked it up gingerly, feeling a strange, tingling sensation coursing through her fingertips as she touched its porcelain skin. Unbeknownst to the Brooks family, the doll had been imprisoned within that antique shop for centuries, and now it had found a way to escape. The elderly shopkeeper watched them closely, his wrinkled face betraying no emotion. He had long known the malevolent presence that dwelled within the doll, but he kept the secret locked away, waiting for the right moment to pass on the curse. The sun dipped below the horizon, and darkness shrouded the antique shop. Emily insisted on taking the porcelain doll home, enchanted by its eerie beauty. Sarah hesitated, sensing a sinister aura surrounding the doll, but ultimately gave in to her daughter's pleading. Richard, oblivious to the unease that hung in the air, paid the shopkeeper, and they left, the cursed doll nestled in Emily's arms. That night, the Brooks family returned to their cozy suburban home. Emily placed the doll on her bedside table, its crimson eyes now gleaming in the soft moonlight that filtered through the curtains. She fell asleep, unaware that her innocent actions had set a sinister plan into motion. As the clock struck midnight, the porcelain doll's eyes flickered to life, glowing with an eerie intensity. It began to move, its porcelain joints creaking softly. The doll's crimson lips curled into a wicked smile as it slipped off the bedside table, landing silently on the floor. The malevolent jinn, awakened from centuries of confinement, had one singular purpose: revenge. It had been imprisoned within the porcelain shell by a vengeful sorcerer long ago, its powers sealed away until it found a vessel through which to exact its wrath. With a supernatural swiftness, the doll moved through the darkened house, leaving a trail of icy dread in its wake. It navigated the shadows with an eerie grace, creeping ever closer to its intended victims. As it approached Sarah and Richard's bedroom, the air grew cold and the very walls seemed to whisper with malevolence. Inside the bedroom, the couple lay in peaceful slumber, unaware of the sinister presence in their midst. The doll's crimson eyes blazed with a malevolent fire as it entered the room, its porcelain fingers reaching out towards Sarah. Suddenly, the room filled with an otherworldly, bone-chilling scream that sent shivers down their spines. Sarah and Richard jolted awake, their hearts pounding in terror. Before their horrified eyes, the porcelain doll floated above their bed, its crimson eyes fixated on them. The doll's powers were beyond comprehension, and it delighted in tormenting its prey. It spoke in a voice that seemed to echo from the depths of the underworld, promising torment and suffering beyond imagination. Sarah and Richard tried to flee, but they were trapped in a nightmare, unable to escape the cursed doll's grasp. Down the hallway, Emily awoke to her parents' frantic cries. Fear gnawed at her heart as she rushed to their room, only to find the porcelain doll floating ominously above the bed, its crimson eyes now glowing like blazing embers. Her parents were trapped in a nightmarish trance, their bodies paralyzed by the malevolent jinn's dark magic. Emily, terrified but determined, realized that the cursed doll was the source of her family's torment. She knew she had to find a way to stop it. With trembling hands, she reached for the doll and clutched it tightly. The doll's eyes locked onto hers, and Emily felt a surge of power coursing through her veins. In that moment, she realized that the jinn's powers were not bound to the porcelain shell. They were bound to her will. With every ounce of her strength, Emily commanded the malevolent spirit to leave her family alone and return to its cursed prison. The porcelain doll let out a blood-curdling shriek, a sound that seemed to reverberate through the very fabric of reality. Its crimson eyes dimmed, and its porcelain form shattered into 1,000 pieces, vanishing into thin air. Sarah and Richard were freed from their nightmarish trance, gasping for breath as they clung to each other. The curse had been broken, and the malevolent jinn was once again imprisoned, this time within the shattered remnants of the porcelain doll. Emily, though shaken by the terrifying ordeal, had proven stronger than the malevolent spirit that had sought revenge. The sun began to rise, casting its warm golden light upon the Brooks family and their now broken porcelain doll. The antique shopkeeper, wherever he may have been, felt a twinge of regret for the curse he had passed on. But the world was safe once more, and the cursed doll would remain nothing more than a haunting memory of a nightmarish encounter with the supernatural. The Brooks family would forever remember the horrors they had endured, and the porcelain doll would remain a chilling reminder of the malevolent forces that could be unleashed by the unwitting touch of a cursed relic. In the quiet moments of the night, they would sometimes hear whispers in the wind, a faint reminder that some curses never truly die, but for now, they were safe, their family intact, and their home free from the dark influence of the cursed doll. From the chilling tale of the cursed doll, one profound piece of wisdom emerges. Beware the allure of beauty, for within the most enchanting exteriors may lie the darkest of secrets. Thank you for joining us for this spine-tingling story. We hope you found it both thrilling and thought-provoking. If you enjoyed this video, please consider participating in our channel by subscribing, liking, and sharing it with your friends. Your support goes a long way in helping us create more engaging content for you. Goodbye, and may you always tread carefully in the world of the unknown.